Here's a scary story about Abbasiya Hospital. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It was a moonless night when Ahmed, a young journalist, entered the abandoned Abbasiya Mental Hospital. Heavy metal doors groaned as he pushed them open. The corridor stretched endlessly before him, lined with peeling paint and rusted medical instruments hanging from the walls. From the far end came a long, piercing scream that echoed through the old wards. A shadow flickered across the hallway. It was a tall, gaunt figure in a tattered patient gown. His face was hidden in the shadows, but Ahmed could see the wild look in his eyes. They were hollow and piercing, and then he was gone, vanished around the corner. "Hello," said Ahmed, his voice echoing strangely in the vast emptiness. But there was no reply. Just then he heard it again, that long, chilling scream. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Fear pricked at him. Maybe he should have brought a friend or at least called ahead. But he was a journalist, not a scared little girl. Curiosity battled with apprehension as he ventured deeper into the hospital. The air grew colder, and a strange, sweet smell like decaying flowers hung heavy. The only light came from the occasional window pane, letting in slivers of the moon's ghastly glow. As he walked, he noticed small pebbles that spelled out a word. The word was leave. He considered turning back, but something compelled him forward. In the distance, he saw another figure, a woman this time. She was wearing a white dress that looked like a shroud, and her back was hunched like an old woman. Was she a patient who never left, or was she one of the hospital's former staff? What had driven these people to such despair? And what secrets did this place hold? He continued walking, feeling as though he were being watched. Suddenly, the woman turned. Her face was pale and drawn, her eyes vacant and black. She stared directly at him for a moment, then turned back and shuffled away down the corridor, disappearing around another bend. "Hello?" Ahmed called out again, his voice shaking slightly. Still no answer, only silence and the sound of his own footsteps. Then he heard it again, the woman's voice, whispering just beyond his hearing, "Leave, leave, leave." He couldn't tell if it was real or imagined, but the chill it brought was very real. He pressed on, each step taking him deeper into the labyrinth of the hospital. The air grew thick with tension. Ahmed's heart pounded in his chest like a drum. In the dim light, the walls seemed to writhe and twist. Faces leered at him from the shadows, beckoning, mocking. Then they were gone when he tried to focus on them. After what felt like hours, he found another door. Pushing it open, he entered a large room filled with rows upon rows of beds. Some were neatly made, while others were soiled and stained. He walked among them, each step echoing in the vast space. He could feel the weight of unseen eyes on him, making the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. He imagined the screams and pleas of tormented souls echoing within these four walls. Then he heard it, a soft, rhythmic tapping sound coming from somewhere in the darkness. He froze, straining to listen. It came again, a slow, deliberate tap, tap, tap. His breath caught in his throat. What was it? A bird? No, there were no windows nearby. Could it be one of the patients? Had he disturbed something he shouldn't have? Panic threatened to overwhelm him. He wanted to run, to get as far away from this place as possible. As he turned to leave, he saw it. A faint glimmer in the darkness. It was a single silver locket lying on one of the beds. Curiosity got the better of him. He walked towards it, each step creaking the floorboards. The tapping sound started again, louder now, and he could feel the vibrations through the floor beneath his feet. When he reached the bed where the locket lay, the tapping stopped. He picked up the locket, its surface cool and smooth in his palm. As he did, the darkness around him seemed to stir. A cold wind swept through the room, sending shivers down his spine. And then the whispering started. Dozens of voices, some angry, some mournful, all speaking at once. "Get out," they hissed. "Leave this place. You're not welcome here." Terror gripped him. He wanted to scream, to fight his way free of the suffocating dread that seemed to be closing in on him. His mind screamed at him to run, to escape while he still could. He threw the locket back on the bed, stumbling backwards, knocking over a nearby chair in his haste. Then he turned and fled, racing through the hospital, the whispers growing louder, more insistent. Leave, leave. He didn't dare look back. He didn't want to see what might be pursuing him, what might be trying to drag him back to that terrible room. At last he burst through the front gates of the hospital and into the night. The fresh air of the outside world hit him like a wave. Shaking, he leaned against the iron railings, gasping for breath. As the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, he looked back at the hospital, its dark silhouette looming against the pale sky. The whispering voices seemed to follow him even out here, taunting, teasing. He forced himself to turn away, to walk away from the place that had become a nightmare. But as he did, he could have sworn he heard one single voice calling out his name, a voice that was both familiar and chillingly cold. "Ahmed, Ahmed, Ahmed." He shuddered, hugging his arms closer around himself. Was it a warning or a promise? He didn't stop running until he was far, far away. But the memory of that night and the haunting whisper of the forgotten patients at Abbasiya Hospital would stay with him forever. What do you think of this story? Let me know in the comments below. And for more terrifying tales, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. And remember, some places are best left undisturbed.